Good morning, guys, and thanks for checking out your latest video forecast update. Michael Clark here with BAM Weather. We'll get right into the analysis this morning as we've got a cluster of storms moving through central Illinois, kind of making its way east here into portions of potentially central and north central Indiana. You can see here that this overall progression of this is moving kind of east on the north end, and then here on the west and south end, it's kind of moving almost due south, where there's actually been a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. So with this, we can expect some heavy rainfall, okay, some lightning and some gusty winds. Certainly not out of the question, but you note here the last few frames, there's actually been some additional development here just out ahead of it to the south and to the east, all right? So we're going to kind of take a look at where we think this may go. And really, guys, here over the course of the next, let's say 2 to 3 hours, it's going to be making its way in through portions of central, north central Indiana. This portion here are going to continue to kind of dive off to the south and southwest, or southeast, if you will. Again, I think this portion of the cluster here could have the potential for the severe weather. This portion here of the cluster would have the potential for the gusty winds and the heavy rain and the lightning. Not necessarily severe, can't rule out a strong storm with it, but I do think this cluster is going to make its way in here over the course of the next couple of hours. All right, this is a look here at the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today. And again, I do think that there can be some stronger storms in here, as there certainly already is with that cluster of storms working in. And then we're going to look at kind of a redevelopment point here as that cluster moves in this morning. Yeah, there's a marginal risk for a stronger storm, but as it starts to weaken, it should start to weaken across east central Indiana here later this morning. As that starts to happen, okay, redevelopment later today may allow for a stronger storm threat here this afternoon and this evening, and that's really what I'm going to try and focus on here in this particular update real quick, all right? So latest high-resolution data this morning. Again, the new HRRR coming in right now does bring that cluster of storms in through here. Now, I think it misses some of the northern portions of the state, where I think that cluster of storms is going to impact northern counties. So if you are in northern Indiana, where that is moving east right now, like I said, I do think you're going to see that. Generally, a half inch of rain, 3/10 of an inch of rain or so would be expected from this. And then what happens is you see that dies out. All right. Then we look at a focal point for redevelopment later today. And I think that's going to start to happen somewhere in here. All right, this is kind of the focal point for redevelopment, somewhere in here around that probably 4 p.m. time frame. We'll call it 3 to 4 p.m. Somewhere in this circle I've drawn, thunderstorms will redevelop and probably do one of these numbers, kind of move almost to the south, if you will. And those will have the potential to become severe, like I said, around 3 or 4 o'clock. The question's really going to be, do they develop along the I-70 corridor or just south? And that's going to be tough to know at this point in the game, but they're certainly going to be possible for that to happen. You can see what the model is doing here and what it's doing when it develops it. It turns it into an organized little cluster of storms, and then, like I said, it will move it south down towards Greensburg, Cincinnati, northern Kentucky. Okay, so that's the area we need to watch for the afternoon development. Like I said, is it along or south of I-70? We don't know yet, but that circle, that area I just highlighted, that's where we need to keep an eye out for this. Okay. With respect to wind, just real quick, there could be a few gustier storms this morning. They'll make their way across central Indiana. And some of those could have wind gusts here, 40, 50 miles per hour, again, as that moves east. And then as this stuff redevelops tonight, any of those storm clusters that do develop are going to have the potential locally to include damaging wind gusts in the severe criteria, possibly upwards of 58, 60 miles per hour in that regard. Okay. In terms of precipitation, I want to show you here kind of my thought process. We'll take you out here through this morning. You can see, again, some of this stuff does make it east. All right. And like I said, I do believe folks here across northern Indiana, 0.3 to probably 0.5, all right, with the potential of a stronger storm. And then as this stuff goes here and redevelops this evening, again, I think it's possible that where that concentration of storm clusters is, pending in that circle I talked about. Remember, I circled this area from 3 to 4. I think there can be locally, we're probably looking at a ½ inch to locally 1.5 inches of rain with some stronger storms in this general area here. I want to preface that, okay? So we will continue to keep you posted on this. A tricky forecast for today. Watch the push updates that come to your application for the latest on that. Just real quick here too, guys, just want to show you the next wave of showers and storms that may come through here to central Illinois Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon. And then we may have a more widespread system with plenty of rain and heavy rain working in here Wednesday night into Thursday, Thursday night into Friday, and even lingering here into Friday evening. Looking at a potential 2-day rain total here in some spots of the Ohio Valley, in Indiana, Illinois, of 1 to 2 inches here with this wave coming in Wednesday into Thursday and lingering into Friday. We'll keep you posted with today's severe weather risk, and we'll talk to you soon.